Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Naked Audio Tutorial. This is Yong from Sgaudiohive. So recently I've picked up a set of the Grado statement series, the GS series, the GS1000. This is the very old model. Okay, so this particular headphone, they has a damaged driver on one side. So the driver was already removed by the previous owner or technician. It's in very bad shapes. So we took over the shells and I managed to salvage a set of similar series drivers. This is from the 3000 series. So we are going to put it into the 1000 shell today. Okay, inclusive of that, we are doing a MMC. We are doing a 3.5 millimeter detachable mod on this. This is one of the not easiest lah, but the most common connector on this because there's not much space here. So we can only put in a 3.5, the most. You can always put in just a MMCX here, but the bandwidth is not as much as the 3.5 millimeter. Okay, so we have to actually remove the gimbal first because we are going to do some drilling. Okay, so I've lost the two rubber stopper here, so it's easy to remove the headbands. Okay, so now how to remove the gimbal? Use a bit of heat, avoid burning the wood. Can we get a pair of pliers and just turn it. Okay, it's still quite hot lah, so we just loosen it and we'll hand remove it in a while. So do the same for the other side. We don't need a lot of heat here. We just need to melt the whatever is holding it lah. So same for this. And we'll press it out. Okay, so for this series, the hole actually doesn't go all the way through. So we now have the bare woods. Okay, we are going to need to drill the hole here. So we will be needing a set of Dremel. And as you can see, the Dremel itself, it will hit the wooden part. So this is quite a very dangerous job. Okay, I forget to go through the part list. So basically what we need is some pliers, some heating tools, scissors, wires for your internal wiring. Okay, for Grado they use two sets of 24 gauge wire. So I'm going to use double wire for the parts. We need the female pins. These are ESD pins, so made in Japan. It's not easy to get. We cannot even have the link up. So if I can find an alternative, I'll list it on my website, or I'll put some link in the description. Okay, so the drivers itself. Okay, this is a mod video. So the driver removal process for this series is not easy. I'm not able to film it because I do not have the full set here. This is already a disassembled set. But basically, what we are going to do next is to drill the hole, put the connectors in, solder all the wires, link up the driver and shut it up. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so first we have to make sure we are able to do a drilling without damaging this part. So you can get some masking tape. It's not within my reach here, so I'll use a clear tape instead. Okay, basically I don't want this part to get scratched. But a masking tape will work better, yeah, because it's actually much thicker. So Now what we want to do is to expand the hole up to this size. You can get a drill with the exact size drill bit and just drill it through. It's actually easier. Okay, so just be consistently checking the size. You don't need the size to be like exact so that it is loose, because as you can see, the screw thread here, they are actually thicker than the rest of the poly. So just get something to the rest of the poly size and you can just force it in, and use some glue and you just fit. Okay, I'll have to change a bit. Okay, this is actually too big. I need to check more often. But the connector, once sealed up, is actually there should be no leakage. Okay, so we are not going to install this now. We are going to install the wires first. So we'll do the same for the next side. Okay, so this kind of tightness is good. Okay. You can get a penknife right here to trim down the wood burrs. Get something to wipe off all the dust. Get a blower. Okay, we can remove this now. Okay, always have something to clear off the dust. Okay, so for the next step, we will be using our solder and this connector. Okay, so for me, I'm going to cut off the sleeve. Get our blue tack. And we'll start by thinning the connector itself. The drivers are already thin, so nothing to do with that. If you haven't already, we have a full video tutorial, in-depth tutorial about soldering, so you can refer to that. Okay, once we have thinned the wire, we need to get our connecting wires. We need about 10 centimeters. So we need 8 of this. So 80 cm of this. You can use any wire you get, or the stock cable that comes with it. Those are sufficient. They are quite good in quality. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we will need to strip and thin all 8 of these. So there's 16 soldering points. I will fast forward after I've done the first one, but we have at the same video for the soldering one, there is a part about tinning, so you can take a look at that if you want to. So basically I'll do one first and then we'll skip. So we'll start by stripping the two ends and tightening the wires, and inflate the solder onto the wire and let the enamel burn off. Alright, so once you have thinned all the wires, you get them in groups of 2. So we need a total of 4 groups. So the first group, okay, we take a look at this connector. On this left side, this one is the left pin, the tip lah. So this is the ring, this is the sleeve. We want the ring and sleeve to be connected because it's a mono side. So we will solder 2 wire and short them together. They have to be shorted together. We'll do the same for the other side. Okay, and 2 to the signal side. Okay, so right now we'll install this and do all the gluing. Okay, be sure to mark out your positives. So if not, sometimes you will get it mixed up. So I'm marking out with blue. Okay, so we'll press in our connector. Okay, make sure that it's flush. Okay, this is the looser side, so I think there's no issue with it. Just need something to actually tighten it up. I'll get some epoxy. Just a bit will do to seal up the, not have any leakage. Okay, we mix it up and spread it at the bottom side, this part. Okay. The thin film should do, but it should cover the whole area. Okay, so we got it all covered, and we press it in here. Okay, all this excess, we'll just use a penknife to scrape that up. Or a needle works fine too. can wipe the thin excess away. Okay, so now we have both sides being done up, so we just have to solder the wires to the driver itself. Okay, be careful not to damage the driver. Okay, so on the left is the negative for this set of driver. So depends on what driver you will be using. Okay, when soldering on driver, do not put the iron over it for more than 1 second. Okay, so basically most of the mod are done. So we'll just manage the wire, curl them up nicely, and we'll friction. Okay, these drivers are friction fitted. There is a glue for it, but we are not going to apply the glue because I'm going to take it apart for more mods in the future. So we just friction fit it in. They actually provide us with this glue, GS1000. This is basically like a clear glue. There's a famous brand, the Yoo-hoo. There is the same thing. So right now we have the connectors and everything in. Okay, I forgot to actually glue down the connectors. So I'll be removing this first, and I'll be using 502 super glue for the connectors. So I dropped just a bit. Same for here. Okay, so now what's left is just to reassemble the headband, and that's all. Okay, make sure your orientation is correct. The bend is inwards lah. So screw them all back in and install them back. And that's all for this video.